I love dogs. Even when I was a kid, I used to bring the neighbors' dogs home all the time. My mom would laugh at me because I would tease her and say, "Oh, this dog just followed me home. I think he wants to live here." I went to an actual salon, did a little internship with them, and they taught me how to run a pet salon business. They recognized that I made some bad choices, but I'm not a bad person.
I'm just hanging outdoors.
Huh?
I'm just hanging outdoors.
Oh, you're just hanging out with George?
You know who that was? That was Grandma. That's what Grandma looked like. That's her. Okay, you know what? We're gonna need you to go inside now, okay, Zayden? I gotta work right now, okay? Just for a minute, okay? My name's George Monda from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I can't blame my childhood. I had wonderful parents. My dad was a truck driver. My mom, she worked for the state of social services. I had a pretty normal upbringing. I was 20, right, when I started flying, right? I was a flight attendant for a major airline for 20 years. I paid my taxes. I was a homeowner. I got to see the world, meet many different people, and just had a beautiful life. I was in a 14-year relationship that I thought was monogamous, and my partner introduced HIV to the relationship. I got sick, thought I was gonna die. Shortly after that, my father passed away. I didn't know how to deal. I wanted instant gratification, the pain that I was feeling at the time taken away, and the drugs did that. You know, at first it was fun, then it was a habit, then it became necessary. I remember talking to a friend, and I remember this friend telling me, you know, if you're doing drugs, I never ever want to speak to you again. So I shut down. Okay, now hold this corner right here. Okay. Started missing a lot of work. They started to suspect that I was doing drugs. I was given my drug test and it came back positive. I was actually terminated on the spot. I was given my 401k and I blew through that pretty quick. I withdrew, I quit talking to my family, I quit talking to my friends. I just pretty much spent a lot of time in the bathroom with a needle in my arm. My mother suspected. We never kept secrets from one another. So it was a shock to them. Here we go, honey. Eventually I had no more means to buy my drugs. And you have to start making some very bad decisions on how you're going to get your next fix. Possession, distribution of methamphetamine. I had over a certain percentage. Prior to going to prison, I only had 3 speeding tickets. That was my criminal record. If they would have done the full sentence, I would still be in prison. I would have done probably 20 years to life.
Let me take a look at those pantaloons real quick, where I'm just kind of outlining that line, and then you just go up from there and go reverse the rest of the way. All right? You got this, George.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why? Because I got a lot of no's when I got out of prison.
I couldn't even hire an individual that would be as reliable as you have been, and you're an hour and 20 minutes away from us. I sometimes have had employees it's hard to get them in here when they live across the street. So you've done what you're supposed to do for the crime that you committed. It just seems like a life sentence once you get out, because nobody will hire you. Nobody will give you a chance.
Society decided the best way to help me was to send me to prison. I've seen few of my friends who are still struggling because they're not given a chance.
When people go to prison, a good person, there's more that they'll learn to be deceitful in prison than they'll ever learn on the outside.
You become what they call institutionalized, and being told by the guards, yeah, I was a piece of shit. You start to believe that. I got addicted to drugs, you know. But when I got to prison, I had to survive. And if I had to lie, I lied. You know, if I had to cheat, I cheated. We didn't get a lot of food, and I had to steal a little bit of food from the kitchen. I feel it was a waste of 4 years of my life. When I look at this picture, what it reminds me of is not only did I go to prison, but so did all these people in my family. My mom went, my sister went. It's not just the punishment of the individual, it's everybody. My mom, she lived in a state of worry, a state of concern. I put her through that. That's my doing.
He just wants you to pet him. Say, pet me, pet me. There you go.
When I first got out of prison, my mentality was I paid my debt to society. One of the requirements is you must be employed within a certain time frame or risk going back to jail. You're filling out these applications. They're asking you, are you a convicted felon? You say yes. They ask for what? I can honestly say people have turned their back on me completely.
Congratulations on getting out of your internship and you are now an official groomer.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
It's exciting. Yeah, very.
You came out without any instructions to get over her house, and they got you conditioned to prison life and
Correct.
prison idea.
Yes.
Now,
That's-
what benefit does that do to our society?
I'll be the first to admit I'm afraid of this world when I get out.
It just feeds into this huge revolving door of never-ending change of addiction and prison and crime.
Addiction is not a criminal activity. It's a mental health issue. They can just do the numbers. Is it cheaper to incarcerate somebody, or is it more cost effective to send them to rehab and give them some type of training?
Do you still feel that anxiety, or do you feel like you have a segue now where you can go on?
What am I going to do different? Because I don't want to be defined as an inmate or a drug addict the rest of my life. Honestly, was looking at, dog sitting, grooming, and I'm thinking I can actually make a career out of this. I don't have to worry about the corporate world trying to be accepted, having to explain my past.
You did awesome, George. We're so happy that you're with us, and we're happy to see what you're going to do next. And that's probably opening your own business in Santa Fe. I mean, that's been your aspiration, right?
These people believed in me and supported me. I'm going to stay with them as long as I possibly can, but they're also actually encouraging me to start my own business.
What's what?
What's this?
That's a scar.
It's for your boo-boo?
I had a boo-boo there.
Yeah, you have a boo-boo there.
Uh-huh. And then that's how it healed.
Yeah, you healed?
Addiction is just an awful thing. It tears apart the most dear and loving thing that you have. I tell my mom every night, can't wait to see you in the morning. I say that every night, because I never, ever, ever, because it's the truth. I can't wait. First thing out of her mouth is, I love you. And we never said stuff like that before. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have this family. Once I do open my own little business, I'm going to hire people coming out that deserve a
That's what
second
I
chance.
was wondering, yeah.
Absolutely.
I like the idea that you're going to help people. Pay it forward, George.
That's it.
Pay it
I
forward.
got to pay it forward.
That's right.
You know that you always have our support, and let your work stand on its own 2 feet. We have customers that request you all the time. Is George grooming my dog? I'm requesting for George to groom my dog.
Go set up your business. Maybe we'll come work for you.
Right? You never know.
And you're going to wake up one morning and say, I'm ready. So you're going to come down and tell me, and I'm going to be the happiest person in the world.
I've been clean 7 years. I am in recovery.
Let's say cheers.
Cheers!
I have people that support me. I have employers that believe in me. I'm back. How about this? Or should I put them back on?
Well, I asked you at the very beginning of the interview and you wanted him on. Now you want him on.
No.